Welcome back, people. It is episode 29 of season 4 of the Taxi Squad podcast. You are currently listening to this on July 17th or 18th. We're recording this on July 17th. Mike, another away game, awesome internet, looking crispy, staring deep into your souls if you're watching this on YouTube. We got a fair amount to get into today. We have an awful national anthem. We have a president being tried to be assassinated. We also have some baseball talk, some soccer talk, and some football talk, maybe sprinkled in NBA talk. It's the Taxi Squad podcast.
Come on, everybody, celebrate. The Taxi Squad is here today. So lose the blues, kick back and relax for now. Kick back and relax for now. They talk about sports and stupid stuff. They're probably wrong and it might get rough. So welcome back. It's the Taxi Squad. Yeah.
Vinny boy, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm happy I gave up this stoicism stuff. I realized after that 2-minute
No way.
stoic thing that I was doing, I'm actually not like that as a person. Fun fact.
Really?
Yeah. I also got a haircut, Mike.
Oh, really? Is that
Yeah,
why I'm on the casting couch?
Yeah, and I put you on that sweet little couch. I'm like, look at this flow. Went with a different cut this time. Finally got a cut. Finally got in to see my boy. So
Yeah.
overall, things are pretty grooving over here in Chi City, my city. I don't know if you heard about
Groovy?
this. I almost died twice last week.
How? How twice? When was the
Big,
first time? When was
big
the
time
second time?
tornado warnings. Big time tornado
Oh,
warnings. No,
I
but
just lived
usually
through a
it's
Hadoop,
not.
buddy.
Usually it's
What?
not a big dealio, but
Mhm.
a couple places in Joliet lost some roofs. Like they were ripping. It was. I could feel my house moving a little bit. I'm like, oh God, like I'm gonna die here today. I did realize too that I live on the 4th floor. I don't have an emergency plan. Like if that tornado were to rip in, I call me freaking whatever her name is with the red slippers because I'm out. You know.
Dorothy?
Yeah. Dorothy.
Vinny Dorothy Glove over here.
You can call me Dorothy
Flying
if you
with
will.
the Dorothy V. Yeah, I just, hey, I would always have an escape plan.
Yeah, I learned
You
that
should
this
all-
time.
I mean, what you could do, because you're the treehouse,
Mm-hmm.
you could like be by your front door in that little schnook.
In the cove, yeah.
Yeah, that's not a terrible spot to be in.
There's no
Granted,
glass.
you're
It's a
by
good point.
glass. Yeah, you could be in Dobie's closet. I mean, so that's kind of not a terrible spot to be in case.
It's not a bad
But then
idea, Mike.
You know, tornadoes really don't flow through the city.
So I also looked that up. That's a fallacy.
Really,
Yeah, I did.
I mean, you
it's-
just don't see, West Loop or Lakeview, or you don't see that necessarily having a tornado.
yeah.
Weather
it hasn't
podcast,
happened in-
weather podcast. You don't necessarily see that happen in the city.
Yeah. You're right. Thank you, Mr. Meteorologist Mike. That is true. I have not seen one. I've also never seen a tornado in my life. So we do have a flood warning today. Keep on trucking. But outside of that, we are currently in the slowest week on the sports schedule of the year. Literally no
Ever.
sports besides the MLB All-Star break and WNBA is going on right now. Just got done with soccer, which we're going to get to. But geez Louise, one thing saved me, and we'll get to it later, so I will bury that lead. But one thing has saved me this week. Outside of that, it is a boring sports week, Mike.
No, something definitely saved you. I think it saved a lot of people. And
Hell
it's
yeah.
been an 11-year wait.
You think
And
they
it's
planned it on?
truly-
Nah, we'll get to it. We'll get to it.
We'll get to it. Vince, I know the 4th of July is over, but wait. Bring back the whole thought process, and I know you're not doing stoicism anymore, but before we get into it, tell our listening group what they need to do.
Listen, guys. This is gonna be really hard for me to say this.
Are you ready?
It's something that, like, I've just needed to get off my chest for a while, and I don't know.
He gets a flow. He gets a flow, and he turns into a little bitch ass boy.
I need you to just go to this episode that you're listening to right now and save it and download it and follow us and just fucking review it and like go on YouTube and just subscribe and like do all this shit. Just do it for us, please. Like we need it so bad. Yeah, if you can go in there and just do that, and subscribe and follow and rate us and do all of that, it'd be great. Check us out on the socials, like our posts. All of that stuff helps us amazingly. Mike, was that a pretty good fake cry?
I mean, yeah, I mean,
good.
You would be believable at Juilliard, either that or like your local theater.
It felt like I was doing a good job, but it is what it is.
Listen, I don't know if you're winning any Academy Awards anytime soon, Vince, but I mean, we'll take it for now. I mean,
I'm a singer over an actor.
For this guy. He is definitely a singer over an actor. Next time we'll have him sing it to you. But either way, speaking of singing, which you do very well.
Mm-hmm. You said doo-doo.
Yeah, I did say doo-doo, and that doo-doo, that you do.
That's you do.
But we should talk about this Ingrid Andress. What's her name?
Yeah, that's it, I believe. I learned about her for the first time on Monday. I sent this to you. I reserve the same opinion I had before outside of everything that came out after this. Ingrid Andress. Andress? I don't know how to say her name. She sang the national anthem at the Home Run Derby this week. It goes down, in my humble opinion, and some people have different opinions, but this is mine. It goes down as the single worst national anthem at a sporting event I've ever listened to in my life.
Worse than Fergie?
Way worse than Fergie. At least
because
Fergie was relatively pitch accurate.
Yeah, I don't know if... Okay, so if you're living under a rock, the night of the Home Run Derby, this Ingrid Andress, who is up for, I think, 3 Grammys?
She's been nominated for 2 or 3, I believe, yep.
And she's a country artist that I've never heard of. Not surprised, but...
100 million plus plays on 2 songs. Famous.
So she must be auto-tuned to the max.
Yeah. So, like I said, I like to sing, and I decided to do some search through what she does and how she got so big. I do get really annoyed, and maybe it's because I'm close to the craft or whatever, but I get annoyed when people get hired to do this shit, and then they sing the national anthem, and it's so bad because that's a song that anybody who's a musician should be able to sing with their eyes closed, like upside down. Like it's not easy to sing, but you can do a rendition of it that isn't the worst no matter what. This was really bad. Like this was really bad. Like it was to the point where I think you can't really have an excuse regardless of what it is. For what it's worth, and I know people are going to think this, she did post and she said that she had a problem. She was drunk. She admitted herself into an alcohol rehabilitation facility, I think yesterday. All of that's good. Go get help if you need it. I'm never going to hate on that. Disease is real. Addiction's real, and you should be honest about it. My issue is that part of it feels like a PR move to me because now instead of everybody going, hey, you sucked at the national anthem, it was like, well, she needs help and she needs to go get help and it's okay. I don't think it's okay. Personally, I think it's bullshit. Number one, I think if I was blacked out, I'd be able to sing the national anthem pretty decently. That's not
Especially
even the argument.
If you got paid to do it.
That's what I'm saying. And it's the MLB Home Run Derby, and there's a lot of people watching it and yada, yada, yada. Number 2, the MLB should have auditions for these things where she sings first and they say, okay, good, you can go. And then the third thing I was going to say is that while addiction is very important to get taken care of and a real thing and all of that, it's not an excuse for being bad at it. Like, she's still bad at it. It wasn't like that changed the results. Like, it was bad. She's getting help. It's good that she's doing that. It was still bad. Like, what are they doing? What is her management doing? Letting her out there? Like, what are they doing?
To your point, Vince, like, trust me, I completely understand that. All right, yeah, you're drunk and I get it. And it just seemed to be to your point, a smidge of a scapegoat because some
Right.
of the best acts of all time are high on more than just alcohol.
Mhm.
It's major drugs. I mean, think about Lane Danger Staley. Lane,
Yeah.
arguably the greatest voice in a rock band of all time, was high on heroin like
A lot.
almost every show.
Ray Charles,
In
dude.
their Ray Charles, come on.
I was talking to my
So
brother,
I'm
and he's like,
not saying Ingrid is those people because those are very crazy examples, but
yeah, sure.
just say
Well, yeah, that's the whole point of it, where it's like, I was drunk, and everybody's like, it's okay. Like, this isn't a high school play. You were singing the national anthem at the All-Star game, like the main sporting event of the scenario, and you go out there, and regardless if you're hammered, what was that rendition? What the hell were you trying to get out of that? Like, and then also, outside of all that stuff, there are thousands, if not tens of thousands of people that would kill for that opportunity. So it's like, there's a piece of me that can't be like, it's okay, she's getting help. I have to go, that was bullshit. She was really bad. She should admit that it was really bad. She's going to get help, that's good, but I don't think it's a scapegoat to say, oh, it's okay, Ingrid. You just come back and get it better the next time. Fuck that. No.
What if she
Next
comes
time, don't do
back?
that, get
Okay.
help.
After treatment, what if the MLB invites her back for redemption game?
Yeah.
Right.
Bad move.
And she
No redemption.
blows it out of the water.
No, never hire her to do that again. It's not
Do
trustworthy.
you think? Okay, in your professional singing opinion,
I'm not
do
saying
you
professional,
think she
but
may
yeah.
have been sold a bill of goods that her microphone was going to be her typical auto-tune microphone, which it isn't,
Yeah.
and she got up there and just shit the bed?
Well, that's a problem with the MLB. But still, like, you should be able to do it half decently, even if your microphone's not going to be auto-tuned. Like,
Well,
that's
don't
the
they
thing.
say? Don't they say it's the hardest song to sing though? Meaning the national
Maybe because
anthem.
it's been done so often. It's not an easy song to sing. This is what I'm saying. There's a harsh difference between, that was okay, to, that was the worst one I've ever heard in my life. I don't, like, you could do it all on one note, and as long as it's clear, I'm not going to say it's the worst one of all time. That was all over the place. That was like going to Baskin Robbins and getting every flavor and just putting it in there and be like, does it taste good? Like, it's not, like, she started cursive singing, and then she started belting, and it was flat. Like, it was so unbelievably bad to me, where I was watching it and just, like, I watched it like 10 times. I'm like, I'm addicted to this video. It's so bad.
I would love to put, if we didn't get copyrighted, I would love to put up Fergie's and hers side by side, back to back.
No, I watched them both back. That's how I made my decision.
Okay.
And I was like,
All right.
because Fergie I've seen a million times, and it is funny, and it probably is the second worst. There's a couple out there back in the day that were really bad too. I think it was Carl Lewis. You ever hear that one? I think it was
Carl Lewis, like Carl Lewis from like Apollo Creed. Carl Lewis?
No, he's a singer, I think, unless I'm getting the
No,
names
I don't
mixed
know.
up. But he did it, and he started it too high, and he couldn't sing the end of it, which happens often. It was really bad.
Okay, Vince, time out. If I could call around and find a professional sporting event to get you to sing the national
I'd do
anthem,
it.
would you do
Heartbeat. Yeah, easy.
it? Okay, so if I call the White Sox and be like, I got a guy.
In.
Okay,
Let's go.
this is happening. This is
I
happening.
was literally singing it today because I'm like, because I don't want to come off as insensitive. That's not my plan here. And like, I'm sure some people would perceive it as being so, but it's one of those things where it's like, there are too many people out there looking for that opportunity for that to just go by the wayside. It's dumb. It is. She should get help. She's making the right decision. It's still not okay that fucking happened.
You want to know what else isn't okay that happened, Vince?
What, Mike?
Someone tried to take our sweet orange man's
Someone tried
life.
shooting your boy, dude.
Not my boy. I mean, we imitate him enough on this podcast. Vince
Yeah.
gets the cadence talking down, and then I just riff off of
Yeah.
it. But
Mine's an accident. Yours on purpose.
unless you're living under a rock, former President Donald Trump almost got assassinated.
Yeah.
He had some good head movement going on,
Hey, yo.
and he
Pause.
dodged a couple 2-3 bullets. And he got hit He got hit in the wrong ear.
I was out with my brother on Saturday and a couple of our friends. And we get back and someone's like, I think Trump just got shot. I'm like, what the hell? And I watch it. I'm like, oh, that's crazy. And I put my phone away and continue to hang out with the boys. Like, for some reason, not clicking in my head that like a former president was like almost assassinated. Where I was like,
oh, that reality TV
I was like,
guy?
oh man, I was like, oh fuck, that guy missed. Like that could have been fucked up. I just moved on with my day. And then I started looking at Twitter after the day's ended, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is like a huge deal. Like,
Yeah,
this is crazy.
This is the
It's
first
unheard
time
of.
a president's like an assassination try on a president since Ronald Reagan.
Outside of
I mean,
the
that's-
shoe.
Outside of the shoe with President Bush when he ducked and he was laughing the whole time, which is
Yeah.
fantastic. It's pretty insane that he was literally inches away from dying.
He moved his head at the perfect time. There's videos, and that's the thing too. And this isn't a conspiracy pod by any means, so I don't want to really get into this. But there are videos of like people seeing the kid and being like, "Hey, there's a guy up there with a rifle." Like the law enforcement just wasn't really doing anything, and it was very confusing. It was like, "Hey, you want to go grab that kid with the rifle that we can clearly see on that roof right there?" And then no one did anything. It's like
Conspiracy podcast, okay? I don't know if that was necessarily him. I think they're using it as an scapegoat.
like decoy. You're saying the guy on the roof?
Mm-hmm. This is kind of similar, and it smells a little similar to like the guy on the grassy knoll. If we're talking like JFK assassination, I'd have to go back and look at the tape on this and the angles, and people were calling it out. But it's kind of interesting because they've done homework on this guy, and I'm not even going to say his name because I don't even want to give him the satisfaction. But he had no social media. There was no text messages. There was no manifesto. There was none of that. It was just like, who just wakes up that day and just decides, you know what, I'm going to try and assassinate the former president.
Could have been smart. Wrote it all out, burned it all before he left, and then fucking went to go shoot the president.
I don't know how much of it I believe. Like, okay,
I get where you're coming from, for sure. Yeah.
What if it's like an Iranian or someone from a separate country trying to take a shot on the?
Well, I don't think Iran would be
of-
attacking us. Honestly, it would
Well,
probably
think
be
about
like,
our borders, though.
Yeah.
I mean, not to go full blown. Yeah, think about our borders have been wide open for the past almost 4 years now, and you got this influx of people coming in who we don't even know who the fuck they are.
Sure.
There's a lot at risk, right? Who knows? Either that or it was an all-in inside job by the Secret Service.
That's what you're hearing too. That's the thing. We're gonna get conspiracies forever, and there's one thing I can tell you for certain is that we're never
You're
gonna be
never gonna
told the
know.
truth.
Never
No one's
gonna
gonna ever tell you anything. It's such bullshit. Like
It's like Roswell. It's like what are the other ones? What's the one with in
talking
Texas?
conspiracies.
No, what was that whole thing with the cult that had the shootout?
Oh, Waco.
Waco.
Yeah,
know
that
truly
whole
what happened with
scenario.
Waco.
The divine, whatever the hells they call themselves. It's yeah. I mean, it's. I like to dive into that stuff. I like to have an open mind. All that
Just
stuff.
ban the ATF.
Yeah, like jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams or whatever. Like we'll hear that shit all until the day is blue, and no one will ever get the answer on that.
If you really want to know, look up Building 7. Just look up Building 7. Listen, everybody has their one conspiracy friend. Mine in particular, a very close friend of mine, goes by a specific moniker. During COVID, this motherfucker drove me crazy. I thought the world was coming to an end more than once. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like,
Yeah.
No. Gonna be medical fucking tyranny, dude. They're gonna show up to your front door and they're gonna put you in a camp. I'm like, what? Yep.
Yeah.
Just go buy canned goods, dude. Go buy canned goods, dude.
That's the thing.
I'll never
this,
forget. I went and
there's
bought
that.
the fucking canned goods, Vince.
Oh yeah, no what, dude? I bought all of the toilet paper I can find. I'm like, I will not be shitting without toilet paper. Like I was totally prepared for all of that too. Thinking I would survive a day in one of the biggest cities in the nation. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
My head movement, only better head movement on the planet. Bella Danger, Muhammad Ali. I have the best head movement on the planet.
Oh my god.
Move my head at the perfect time. They're like, how'd you know how to move your head? I said, I just knew.
I just knew.
What's even crazier, though, is that Shane Gillis absolutely called this years ago.
He did, yeah. Literally, it was in a special,
The
wasn't it?
entire situation,
Yeah.
he called it years ago.
Yeah.
I encourage everybody to go listen to it because it's hysterical.
It's
like spot for spot on.
I wasn't surprised that it happened. I had a feeling, since it's so separated, that something was going to happen like that. Not necessarily him getting shot or whatever, just like an attack or whatever. I think we can all say with confidence, it's like all the people saying it should have hit him, like, fuck off.
That's just no. Yeah.
That's
don't
just bad
say that.
juju. It's just bad juju,
Don't
regardless of
anybody
your opinions.
die.
Like, it's like, don't wish death upon anybody
No.
except for Jerry Reinsdorf. I'm just kidding. I hate him. But yeah, so yeah, Trump got shot at. And he got a cute little Band-Aid. You see like the little cause.
Yeah, the RNC's going out in Milwaukee. He walks out with like this really cute little Band-Aid on his
So-
left ear, and you're like, aw.
I was like, he doesn't need that. Just put some tape on it. Like, what are we doing here?
The real question is 50 Cent going to show up at a rally in the near future and
Man.
perform Many Men Live? If he
Does he ever-
does, goated, just give him the election already.
Well, yeah.
It's that simple.
Is he a Trump guy, 50 Cent?
Who knows what 50 is? I don't know where he is today.
That's
50,
true.
if you're hearing this, you should
He
do
ain't,
it either
he
way.
ain't
for
a Diddy
clout.
guy, is something I can tell you for certain.
He is definitely not. He is called
Yeah.
Diddy a fruit pop,
Yeah,
which I think
long
is the
time
funniest
ago.
shit of all time. And another one who called it.
Some things are right, and some things just take some time to get proven correct, and that's what happened.
Can we talk about the track record of this man, though? I mean, Trump might be more of a gangster than any other president ever. Like,
He has stolen a lot of money from people.
3 baby mamas, fraud,
Yeah.
bankruptcy,
Yeah.
made it
Tax
all
fraud,
back.
bankruptcy, 3 baby mamas.
The tax fraud they all do. That's any
No, I know,
millionaire.
but hey, that's included.
Technically, I mean that's
Isn't
any
that how they got
millionaire
our boy Al
billionaire, though.
Capone?
Well,
Or was his
technically,
racketeering?
yeah. His was racketeering. Al Capone's racketeering.
Trump's
the guy
probably
you
got
need
something
to
to do
do-
with some racketeering.
The guy you need to do your homework on is Tony Accardo.
Mhm.
Joey, Tony Accardo, arguably the cleanest gangster that ever lived.
Ooh.
Never went to prison, just had his guys as a liquor salesman forever.
What a boss.
Died at his home. I mean, what else are you doing? Either way, Trump might just go down as like the biggest gangster of any president ever, and now
Yeah.
add to the list that he survived an assassination attempt. It's pretty gangster.
Yeah, I'll give it to him. I'll succeed to that one. I don't think I don't think Joe Biden's doing any
What if
gangster
he-
things.
What if he wears a zoot suit to his inauguration at the end of 2025?
That would be pandering, I think.
I think it would be fantastic.
I think it would be too, but I think it'd be pandering.
I like the stripes of this one. Okay, let's talk
Can
about
we talk about
soccer.
sports? Yeah, I was like, can we talk
Let's talk
about
about the
sports?
least American thing and least American sport there is.
But it did happen at a perfect time, again, as a boring sports weekend. We did get the Euro Championship as well as the Copa American Championship. Let's do this in chronological order here and start off with Spain versus England. Now, I was out at a bar watching a game this weekend before I went to the Windy City Smokeout to go see Carrie Underwood. She slaps.
Yeah.
The atmosphere was amazing. The fact that you can get a bunch of people in Chicago to get up and ready to go for a Spain versus England match, I like it. I'm addicted to that type of energy, dude.
I mean, what were you at a soccer bar or were you at?
Yeah.
rafting?
It was it was like it was shoulder to shoulder. Everybody was watching it all together.
Wow.
It was awesome. It was packed. Everybody was just like, I was rooting for Spain. Fuck those Brits, respectfully.
Really? Not rooting for the Redcoats, huh?
No, dude. It's like I'm I'm a Republic of Ireland. I have that in my blood here, you know, from Killarney, from Castle Island area.
Oh, don't you see?
So that side's like, fuck the Brits. Like Lizzie's in a box type shit. Like when she died, they were like, Lizzie's in a box, like that much. Like fuck Britain. And then also America got America because fuck Britain. So I think it's funny. And I'm saying that with like mostly like a joke. Like I don't really care, honestly. But I think it is funny that England's always like, bring the trophy home. The trophy belongs in England, blah, blah, blah. And they just can't do it. It's like the Toronto Maple Leafs trying to win a playoff game. They just can't do it.
Well, the Premier League is truly premier. I mean, right?
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of all of the games are played. So,
well, no, La
not...
Liga, and then that German league, Bundesliga. Those are all like three really big leagues. But I know what you're saying.
Well, I'm just saying the one that are the most televised, at least in the States. I mean, Premier
Yeah.
League, and then
Arsenal's,
any of
Man
these
U's.
Euro. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So it's their sport. It's like baseball, for example.
Yeah.
Right. Even though chances are baseball in the Olympics is going to be ran by a country in Asia. I mean, that's ultimately what's going to happen.
Well, yeah, because it's amateurs too. It's not actual players.
Now, if we could have our boys there, like for the World Baseball Classic, which Vince and I will be attending in Japan in 2026, pay that. But
believe it.
I do believe that it's, I mean, so these are like the finals that ultimately gets you into the World Cup, correct?
I
Or what
don't
is the
understand
ultimate
all of the. There's intricacies and then there's play-ins and all that bullshit. The way I perceive it is this is a continent. It's continental. The Americas versus the Americas. Europe's versus Europe's.
Okay.
So this is like essentially bragging rights for beating everybody in Europe.
Okay.
Which Spain should do, realistically. There's a lot of athletic guys from Spain.
Well, yeah, that's a fair statement. And Spain in particular, I mean, that game was so close, though. I mean, they won 2-1, right?
Dude, and that's the thing with soccer. It's like the worst team can win
90
in soccer
minutes
often.
long. It's 90 minutes long, and they maybe score 2 points. It's horrific.
Well, it was 2-1, yeah.
You just watch guys run up and down the field.
Yeah, you texted me, and you're like, it's supposed to end at 90. Why are they playing at the 90?
Okay, so for all of our non-soccer folk in the listening group, Vince, why don't you explain how the fuck the minutes work in soccer? Because I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, I thought they play 90 minutes.
The clock, yeah. If you don't watch soccer, here's a little education. If you do, you can just go ahead and skip forward a couple of times. The clock in soccer doesn't stop. Ball goes out of bounds, it keeps going. Ball or a guy gets switched out, keeps going. Guy has to kick or throw the ball out of the goal, keeps going. All of that stuff is added on at the end. So it's stoppage time. It's extra time at the end of the game that takes into account all of the time it was paused during the game. So that's why it always goes. So every time you hit 90, you'll see a +3, +4, +5. That means the amount of minutes added to the game. That's what that is.
So to your point, so instead of stoppages in the game, they just add more time at the end of the game.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, that's stupid. But all right, I digress. I didn't know. I was like, oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. But either way, Spain beat England. We all kind of knew that was going to happen. Historically, that has been the case. And then Argentina played Colombia in a hell of a matchup. A game
really quick,
I actually chose to watch.
I was making a point. I just want to finish it. The worst team could win in soccer more often than any other sport, in my opinion, because it was a 1-goal game, but clearly throughout the game, England was slower. They were less aggressive. Someone said that they could have given the Spain goalkeeper like what do you call it, a blindfold, and they still would have won the game because England just wasn't aggressive, didn't care to get the ball in play, and Spain was constantly on the offensive, constantly shooting at the goal. It was like clearly who was better, and it was still a 1-goal game. So at that point, it does keep it a little bit more exciting, but still, it's like there was one time it could have happened, and England could have won that shit, and it would have been bullshit, essentially. Sorry. That was my point.
Well, I think Vince just has hatred in his heart for England. Either way.
No, clearly. I mean, everybody said it. Like, they were playing worse. They were less athletic. They were less fast. They were less, like, dominant with the ball. They weren't on the offensive end a lot. Their goal was decent, but outside of that, it was like Spain. Like, if you were watching a basketball game, Spain would have been up 20 the whole time, but you weren't. Like, you only can score one goal.
That's the problem with this game. But in a way, I guess it's a good thing.
It's almost a good thing,
like,
yeah.
It's like watching a defensive matchup in football. There may not be a lot of scoring, but sometimes you like the dogfight. And 9 times out of 10, that's what I feel like soccer is about.
Pitcher duels, same thing.
So, yeah, same principle, potentially, maybe. I don't know. Either way, a game I got into was Argentina-Colombia.
Oh, yeah.
To bury this lead. This game went into extra time. It was bananas. Thought it was going to go into a shootout. What I dislike about the game of soccer in particular, I thought flopping was egregious and bad in the NBA. It is so much worse in soccer.
I told you that's where they got it from.
It had to be. It had to be. Vinny,
yeah.
It is arguably the most silly shit I've seen where these guys talk about getting hit in the head with a shovel. They might as well be getting the head with a soldering iron.
Yeah.
Like, these guys hit the ground and then they stay on the ground for, I don't know, 15 minutes. They got the ref over there to him and the whole team's huddling around him.
He flicked my ear. Ah!
Right. And then they're on the ground just fucking flopping around like a fish out of water. And then they pop up like nothing happened.
Yep. That's about it.
LeBron watched soccer. That's all I got.
No, I told you this whole theory. Someone did a whole graph of it, and it was like Ginobili gets in the league, and Tony Parker, and Dirk, and all these guys start getting it. You start seeing little upticks of fouls that aren't fouls. And now you got half the NBAs from Europe, and now all of a sudden everybody's flopping. Like, wonder why that happens. Yeah, I mean,
True.
it is completely a I guess microcosm or whatever you'd call it of soccer, like moving into the NBA. Yeah, it's way worse than soccer. There's more room for the theatrics. They can go around and sprint and do cartwheels and shit. Like, they can do whatever they want. They'd be like, "Ow, you hurt me ankle, buddy." And you're like, "Oh no, I hurt my friend."
It was bad to watch. Now, I will say this much: Messi was playing in this game.
Yeah,
poor guy.
Man.
It looked like his ankle was the size of the moon. They panned to it on the sideline. It was in the end of the what do they play? 2 periods or 3 periods? How many periods do they play?
2 halves.
2 halves. So end of the second half, they pan in on Messi's ankle, and it was
it was swollen to shit.
Huge.
Yeah,
it was. Fucking
you know when you
huge.
move your microphone away, I can't hear you.
What?
Yep. It was, dude, and he was crying. I mean, like, he's my
Well,
goat.
I think he was crying because he wanted to be in the game. Now, granted, Argentina.
100%. He wasn't crying about his ankle. He's like a 4-year-old man.
if he was your bitch ass boy.
Ouch, my ankle! Ow!
Oh no,
it hurts. Quit it. He's from Argentina.
Extra time.
Oh no!
They got all these people in Miami. I couldn't even figure out. I'm like, wait, it's in Miami? I'm like, oh
yeah,
shit,
man,
it's in
Hard
Miami.
Rock. Yeah.
So they're in Miami playing this game. They got people sneaking in through fucking HVAC vents. These people get creative.
Yeah.
Leave it to the people from the country Colombia to find their ways into a country via vents or tunnels. Drugs.
I got it. I got that one. That one's pretty easy. Dude,
telegraph that one.
Extreme security risk. Extreme security risk in this.
Insanity.
Watching this shit happen, there was like hundreds of people shoving people into this vent, like to get into the stadium. Number one,
how'd they get in? I don't even, like. You'd think this is like a global event. Security would be as tight as ever. Did they grease a guy? I mean, Did they give him a few dimes? I mean, granted, it is Miami.
They've had Super Bowls there.
Right.
Like, the amount of people that are going to that game is equivalent to the amount of people going to the Super Bowl. Like, probably less. Like, they've done things to a bigger standard than what we're looking at here.
Yes.
They stopped letting people in. To fix the flow of traffic. People were pushing over the fences, climbing over railings. Eventually, they started blaming Miami for it. I don't really know what they're supposed to do about that. They get like 9 times the security and start pushing people because like people were bloodied and shit too. It's like, yeah, if you guys are gonna act like animals, that's what's gonna happen. Like it's not like. And there was people waiting to get into the stadium with their ticket, and people with tickets couldn't get in anymore because they were already at max capacity. So people that just snuck in ended up keeping seats. It was crazy.
Could you imagine, like, your Ticketmaster or something, like the refunds?
Nah, fuck them. They deserve that. Fuck them. I hate Ticketmaster. They're the worst.
I hate all the ticket apps. I mean,
no, but their
people.
Ticketmaster owns about half of them too. They're the worst. You want to get into a conspiracy? Look into that and see how horrible that they are with just gouging prices out of people and just robbing people blind for trying to have fun. Hate Ticketmaster. Hate them.
Yeah, the cost to go to like really anything minus a White Sox game is absolutely insane.
It's still you can get a $7 Sox ticket and it's $23 out the door because you have to pay over double the costs and fees.
What if you buy it at the game?
Then you're fine because that's at the ticket sales box. But if you want, and you also Ticketmaster bought Live Nation. So all the Live Nation events is also Ticketmaster. So all the money where you're like, well, I'm not going to go Ticketmaster, go Live Nation. Same person. Still making the money from them. So yeah, it's always fucking Ticketmaster. Always has been.
What if Ticketmaster wanted to sponsor the podcast?
That's fine. I'll go. That's not how much money they give us, dude. I'll sell out.
No. So hey,
I prefer
will
Game
say this.
Time though.
Game Time's good. I also like. I think it's ticket free advertising.
Quick Pick.
Tick Pick. I like Tick Pick.
Me too.
Tick Pick's awesome. Put the wrong letter in front of that. Totally different scenario.
Oh, never
But
sent
I
one
digress.
of those. Never sent one of those.
No, don't do that, guys. For the record, if anybody's ever done that, listen to this podcast.
And if you do, make sure all of your pictures.
Nobody wants to see the mushroom cap, okay? Nobody wants to see the mushroom cap.
Well, just make sure that your pictures don't get automatically uploaded to iCloud too, because that could cause other issues.
Because then you could be Gia Duddy.
True, that did happen.
Didn't she? Okay, never mind.
I feel bad for citizens of Chicago that like soccer, that are trying to go see Lionel Messi play. Because last time Messi came, when he joined Inter Miami, and they were going to play the Chicago Fire.
Is he still on that team?
He is, yep. He was going to come and play, and it was going to be great. And Chicago Fire tickets are like $20, I think, normally. Those tickets are like $250 if Messi's coming, because it's Messi and he's the man. And people that went there, Messi didn't end up coming on the trip and didn't play. So luckily, they all bought their tickets for the second game. He'll be here on August 31st. Do you think he's going to be healthy in a month, Mike?
Hell no.
It's fucked.
Looking at that ankle, there was after that game, and after he might play like 10 minutes if he does.
Oh, that sucks, dude. I have friends that have bought tickets for both of them, and I'm so sorry to you for that. The consolation is that Jason Derulo is performing at halftime.
Hey, Jason Derulo had a really good song like 10 years
Jason
ago.
Derulo.
He always calls his name in the song,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Remember he fell down the stairs?
I remember when Michael Jackson burned his hair.
Nope,
Is it,
different
like, close to
scenario.
He
Altogether.
fell downstairs? He fell downstairs?
Yeah, at the Met Gala.
Oh, good, man. Sucks to suck, Jason Derulo.
I guess so. He can dance, but he can't walk. But yeah, so sorry for soccer fans in Chicago. Hopefully your GOAT plays.
Well,
I would
let's
love
get
to see
back
him as
to
well.
the topic at hand. Argentina wins against Colombia.
Yeah.
There's a lot of speculation at the end of that game saying that, maybe they deserve more time. Maybe there was penalties. What I did enjoy, actually, though, is that the refs actually let him play.
Yeah.
And there wasn't a ton of cards. I don't know what all the cards mean. There's a green, yellow, and red, I believe.
Yellow's cautionary. Red is really bad. That's how I understand it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's like a technical foul. And then like
it's a common foul versus a tack. Like reds are tacks.
Got it. All right.
Yeah.
See, I'm still picking up what you're putting down. But so that was the finals. That was the Euro finals, right?
Yeah.
And then now who plays who?
That's it for now. We're on to Champions League.
I don't get who plays who next. What
Mike,
do you mean it's not a champion?
You have so much homework to do with soccer.
No shit. I'm not claiming to know soccer.
Tournaments. They play tournaments throughout the year. So you have the league that you're in. So you have like the MLS or La Liga or Premier League. You have the league that you're in. And then you have your national team. So the same way that LeBron plays for Team USA, Messi plays for Team Argentina. Then you have the Champions League. That's a mixture of all of the good teams. So and people in the German leagues and the Italian leagues and Premier League, all of the good teams go, and then they try to win the Champions League, and that's like the best league. And then they'll come back around, and the World Cup will come, and then they'll start doing qualifiers with their team. Like, they play in different leagues, like, all together. So this is, congrats, you're the champion. Now move on to the next tournament.
Oh, okay. See,
like
and they
the
want to know
in-season
why
tournament.
Americans don't follow this shit.
No, they don't. They don't give a fuck.
Right, and I'm one of them.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you,
difficult to follow.
No, the Premier League and Copa, well, I guess Copa America would, but everybody else does not care if America watches soccer at all. They have no interest.
I know they don't.
Yeah.
What I'm getting at, though, I know I may have to do more homework, but it's just like, it's just clearly to fill time in sports. Nothing else is on. It's the All-Star break. Nobody gives a shit about soccer.
Not.
Maybe I'm telling you.
No, it's not.
Think about it, Vince.
They don't
If there
care about
wasn't
the
soccer on,
All-Star
if there
break.
wasn't soccer on, what would you be watching?
You're undervaluing how popular soccer is, Mike.
Maybe over the pond, okay, but not here,
it's
dude.
It's the second most watched sport in the world.
Okay.
After what,
I would
Mike?
love
After
to know
what,
in
Mike?
America.
After what? What's the first most?
Football?
Cricket, baby.
See? I don't know how many people are watching cricket, but there you have it.
Like hundreds of millions of people. Most watched sport in the world. To put a little I guess
not in America, buddy.
Understood. To give, I don't know if credence is the right word.
Clearwater?
Creedence Clearwater Revival, yes. Argentina has won the Copa America 16 times. They're a house. They're a house. It's like you kind of expect it because there's just a level above. Like if Argentina was thrown into the Euro, it could have been a different story. Argentina is very good, but like you got a lot of teams in Copa America that wouldn't stand a chance in the Euro. Like wouldn't stand a chance.
Good for them. All right. Let's talk about real football lately.
Yeah.
Shall we? So Vince.
Yeah.
Someone got special access this week.
Yeah, Mike, how's the game? You enjoy it so far?
I'm working. Hence why fucking Walt Disney is behind this shoulder.
Yeah, look at Walt, dude. Look at him and his anti-Semitic frozen head or whatever is going on with Walt Disney these days.
Do you think that cat is like his little helper?
I call her Helga. Yeah, it might be.
This cat is little helper.
Tell me
how it is,
audio
Vince.
Listeners. I love you, audio listeners. Mike is sitting in front of a picture of Walt Disney with a cat. So click on the YouTube if you want to hear it. Yeah, man. NCAA football 2024 has come out officially. I didn't want to pre-order the game because I don't know if I'm getting Madden this year, which means I didn't get early access. But I am a member of EA Play, which allows you a 10-hour free trial of the game.
Oh.
So in normal Vince fashion, I burned that shit quick. Like really, really quick. Like I played 5 hours in both days and I'm already out of my trial. I'll have to wait until Friday now.
Give it to me. Give it
we have a
to me.
podcast.
What
Let me get to it.
Is it great? Is it not great?
It's so great, dude. It's so good. It is so
Does it
good.
play better than Madden?
Yes, it's a different game. Couple things to note. Defense is impossible completely. I did start Road to Glory. I am currently number 2 in the nation, Notre Dame. I just beat USC 52-14, so sounds about right. It is amazing. It is. I haven't gotten to the recruiting yet, and I can't until Friday now because my access has run out. So supposedly the recruiting's really cool. One thing I will say is my player, like you start playing with your player, and then you start getting
What's
texts.
his name? What's his name?
His name is Theo. Fuck, what's his last name? Oh, I forgot what I made his
already
last.
forget this.
I don't know, and I can't even check it. It's already frozen. His name is Theo, Rumpkin. Theo Rumpkin. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's my boy Theo Rumpkin. Yeah, you get texts from like classmates like, "Hey, just got all the answers to the test. Do you want them?" Like the first couple, I'm like, "Hell yeah, bitch!" Like I'm at Notre Dame. I gotta get A's.
Do you get caught?
Every time. Caught? It's such bullshit. 3 times in a row, it's like your GPA went down and you're in trouble now because you got caught. And I'm like, all right, so now I'm playing it by the book. It's bullshit.
So you got to be like a really good little boy, even though like
well, it depends on
half of these college players while they're at a major school are getting NIL money now and probably take
you get NIL
basket weaving.
You get NIL. You get NIL offers.
Can you spend the money? Can you spend the money on strippers and
you buy them for like either energy points or like upgrade tokens.
Oh, smart.
Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah. And then you'll get like random like, "Hey, we have a party off campus," and you have to like up your popularity ranking and stuff. It's cool. It's pretty in depth.
So like you could go party? Like do you actually show up to the party and like
No.
I don't know. No.
I don't know if it's worth the money to be like, let's put a bunch of drunk 18-year-olds on this video game.
Well, so you go to the parties, do you get like text messages the next day? It's like, "Yo, dude, you were wild for pulling your shot out in the middle of that party."
Yeah, you
like,
took a dick out. No.
What
you get a text the next day where it's like, "Hey, whatever your name is, I saw those pictures of you out. Like there was a curfew last night. We're gonna have to do X, Y, and Z," and then you get like punished for it. But you get,
get more popularity.
You get more fans. Yeah, you get more popularity fans. So I was
Jersey Chase.
I was kind of a bad boy in the beginning. I was just cheating on tests and partying. Yeah, because I was a redshirt freshman, dude. I was sitting behind my boy Riley Leonard, dude. I had to let him play out his senior year. But it's all right. I'm already a golden god now. I think it does depend on what team you're on, because like Notre Dame requires you to have like a 3.8, I think, or something like that as your GPA. So I think I just picked like a hard institution. Like I was watching somebody on Twitter, and they went to Northwestern and they failed out in the first year and they had to transfer.
Well, so let's just say you go to like, I don't know,
Kent State. Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
U of I, or you go to I don't know, you go to Bama or Clemson or one of them. Like, what's your GPA got to be there, right? I mean,
I'm assuming like a 2.1, given how. I'm just kidding. I don't know what it'd have to be. I just know that Notre Dame's is high because it's an amazing academic institution. You know,
I don't know how realistic that is, because anybody you've talked to who went to college with a high-profile athlete who actually made it to the next level, it's like they had tutors, people were going to class for them.
Yeah.
Like they would, like some of these basketball players who
Mike,
are one and done, like
put
maybe
that in the EA Sports video
game.
They
want to make it realistic, Vince. Make the
I know,
shit
but that's
realistic.
not what people are told. That's what people hear. You know what I'm saying? Like you end up hearing it, but that's never come from the NCAA, who's already bullshit anyway. So get him out of here.
Disband the NCAA. So what about Arch Manning? Is he in
He's
the game?
in it.
Have you played with him? Is he a dog? Is he?
I haven't played with him. He's already an 87 overall, so they're obviously sucking his balls. Shedeur Sanders, highest ranked quarterback in the game.
Wow.
Okay.
Talk about sucking.
Can I tell? Circle? Are we in the circle of trust here? I
think so.
I'm out on Dion. I'm out.
Why already? Why are you out on
like
Dion
him.
already?
I don't like him anymore. He's annoying me. His son's talking shit all the time. They went 4-7 last year. I don't really understand where this confidence is coming from. If they're bad again this year, then he's just going to be like, it is what it is. We move on. Like, no, dude, they sucked last year. They were really exciting the first 2 weeks, and then they finally faced real competition, and they got boat raced every single game. Like, there's a level of just like self-awareness that you have to have a little bit, I feel like. Like, he's not at Jackson State rolling over teams anymore. Like, now, what are they? Are they still in the Pac? Are they in
No,
Big Ten now?
Pac's disbanded. They're in the Big 12.
Well, isn't there like a
and
Pac 2? Isn't like Washington State just sitting around or something like that?
I don't know exactly what's going on with that. We should probably check into that for next week.
I think everybody's confused.
What I will say, though, is that they're in the Big 12 now. So you're going to have to play Oklahoma State.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to play some good teams. And we'll see. Last year, the Pac-12 was
good. I think he's good, but like,
I think year 2
doing?
now, they'll get the offensive line right. They'll protect him. Travis Hunter is arguably the best athlete in all of college sports.
He's so good.
And I think they're probably, I would put them over 6 wins this year. The team that I've talked about that everybody's, in my opinion, sleeping on is Nebraska. Don't sleep on Nebraska, man.
Yeah, you like
they're
that coaching hire. Well, you like second-year coaching hire, honestly.
Okay, what I like is the structure of the team that's already there. What I also like is that they have the best QB prospect to come out in like almost 5 years.
Yeah.
Dylan Raiola. And then not only on top of that, Raiola's uncle is actually the offensive line coach on the team.
Oh, shit.
That he chose to commit to. And Matt Rule is like known this kid for years. Like, it's kind of a match made in heaven. So pay attention to Nebraska. I'm high on Nebraska this year.
Yeah.
Michigan, I think, takes a step back. Ohio State, legit.
Lame. Fuck Ryan Day.
Well, I don't think Riley Leonard's going to set the world on fire for Notre Dame this year. What's their schedule look like? Hanley School.
He was very good.
Marshall,
okay. He was very good before his transfer.
Sprinkle in
percentage-wise, according to the experts.
IU. What experts?
According to the experts, Notre Dame has the highest chance of going undefeated this year. So I'll stick with that. I don't know where you think your guys are going this year, but I'm not. I'm just going to reserve my opinions.
Don't sleep on Miller Moss. I know Caleb was the guy, and he still is going to be a guy in Chicago. But
Riley Leonard, the man. We have a lot of time between then and now to talk about this.
Oh, yes, we do. Okay, so you dropped this. Steve Sarkisian believed that both Quinn Ewers and Arch Manning will be utilized this season.
I don't know what the fuck that means, man.
Me either.
You have a Heisman hopeful and a kid that hopes to win a Heisman at some point in his college career. Quinn coming back is big for them, obviously, because he's talented, but like, I guess this is lip service, right? Like, how is he gonna start 2 quarterbacks in Texas? Doesn't make any fucking sense.
That has never worked.
No.
And it will never work.
Let alone having a guy like Quinn Ewers who's clearly a starting quarterback in college football right now.
Quinn Ewers gives me Big Jay Cutler vibes.
Oh, yeah, I can see that for sure.
But he's really utilized the NIL thing to his advantage. Like, he started at Ohio State and then transferred to Texas, former Texas boy. Made his money to jump from Ohio State to Texas. Like, he's smart. Like, he knows what he's doing.
Oh, yeah.
But he's Big Jay Cutler for me. He's mobile, he's big, and he's got a cannon of an arm. Just doesn't know where it's going. Doesn't know where it's going.
Now, Texas is sad, Mike. They're a sad team right now.
Why is that?
They're pouting, dude. The SEC is allowing everybody to do this again. Everybody can horns down them, and they're like, hey, man.
Fuck yeah, horns
that
down.
hurts
Red
my
River
feelings.
Forever.
Do you remember how bullshit that was? When that came out where the Big 12 was like, hey, guys, you're starting to hurt Texas's feelings. I think we should probably stop doing this now. Don't make a hand gesture. The SEC comes out and says that there needs to be, like, it needs to, like, offend one of the senses, I think was the terminology they used, which didn't make any fucking sense. Essentially, if you do this to anybody else in the world at any time, it doesn't mean anything. They were like, if they're just doing that to you because of your football team, why the fuck would we ever penalize somebody for doing that? And that was just because the Big 12 was just trying to suckle on Texas's teat for as long as they could until they transferred.
I don't know if it was all that. I do believe that
because that was right around that time when that was happening.
OU transferred to the SEC.
Correct. That's what I'm saying.
So did Texas. It's an OU driven thought process is what they do.
Yeah.
I mean, horns down always. You could walk through Norman, Oklahoma, and they could just be playing anybody, and you could get a full-blown breakdown from any OU fan by screaming Boomer, Sooner, and they usually follow it up with who do we hate? Texas.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that simple. So the rivalry is crazy. Why they play at a neutral site? Because the last time they played at a true home game, and one state or the other, people died.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's why they probably were catering to that thought process of don't
Lame.
do that. But good for the
Lame
SEC.
as shit.
That's the realest shit I've seen in a minute. Now let's
get
talk
over
a little bit
yourselves,
about
you pansy baby boys, and just go play football and stop crying about people going like that because it's lame.
Yeah. Put sea salt in
We
your
wouldn't
hair and
care.
stop being bitches.
We wouldn't give a shit about horns down at all if they didn't make it such a big deal. Like, eventually I'd be like, okay, it's getting played out, like, whatever. But now it's just like, oh, don't do that to me. You're going to make me piss myself. It's like, okay, what are we watching here? Like,
yeah, in a league full of sensitive grown men, you got to be careful, right? But
yeah, guess
let's
so.
get in some NFL talk. In most recent NFL news, I'm watching Receiver, by the way.
Yeah.
Last week when we talked about the Receiver documentary that was most recently released on Netflix, and it's truly fascinating. Documents Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams. Truly a fascinating group of people. Justin Jefferson is absolutely fascinating. That guy's a dog.
He's the man.
George Kittle may be your new favorite person. Just saying.
I love him. I love him.
That guy is like the purest Midwest boy I've ever seen.
He's destined to be
football
a bear.
at Iowa. Married his wife or married his college girlfriend.
Yeah,
who they were both athletes and started dating like their freshman year. Like, he's just a good dude.
He's destined to be a bear at some point in his career, I believe.
I hope so.
He kind of says that as much himself, but he says he's never going to leave San Francisco until they force him out. Yeah, he's the fucking man. I haven't watched any of it because I'm currently on a anti-Netflix thing. But I've been taking sides recently, Mike. I've been taking sides. After they took... So my family and I, we would like share all of our streaming, and one of us would just take one and share the login.
Sure.
I'm HBO Max, so I'm sharing it with everybody. You can't do that with Netflix anymore. So as far as I'm concerned, suck my butt. I don't give a shit.
You could totally rip it off like streaming.
Yeah, I know. I could, but it's more just like
allegedly, you could do that. Allegedly. We don't condone those
No,
things
you could definitely do that. I don't know if you should, but you definitely can.
Speaking of the San Francisco 49ers, it's recently noted that Brandon Ayuk has requested a trade. Your thoughts on where he winds up?
I think it's a nothing. I think he winds up right where he is. Remember when Deebo Samuel was pissed off? What was it, last year, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Hey, I don't want to run the ball anymore. I'm a wide receiver. I require all this money. I'm going to leave. This is irreparable. I can't do it. Talks to the 49ers, gets a new deal drawn up, goes back out there, runs the ball more than he did either time in the previous 2 seasons, happy as a clam. Same shit's going to happen. They're going to re-sign Ayuk because Ayuk is their number 1 wide receiver. He's more important than Deebo Samuel, honestly, as a wide receiver. I think he gets signed. They still haven't had to pay Purdy, so I think this is the perfect time to sign a wide receiver like that. Run it back for 1-2 more years before Purdy's contract comes up. I don't think he leaves.
Allegedly, there are reports that Washington's interested on him because him and Jaden Daniels play together at ASU.
Good luck.
And the 49ers drafted a bunch of wide receivers this draft. Not saying
he's their WR1, though.
1A or 1B, you could consider.
He would be 1A.
Deebo is like a glorified. Yeah, I see what you're saying, but they're still dogs. But no, I'm with you. I could see a scenario where he winds up in Washington now.
Yeah,
because they have draft capital, and
I mean, what they got? Dotson, they got McLaurin over there. Like they have a decent wide receiver room too.
Yeah, but Brandon Ayuk on that team with a former guy played this.
Brandon Ayuk everywhere is at least a 2. Our boy's finally signed, Mike.
Who?
Caleb in Rome.
Oh, I didn't think that was going to happen. No way.
I was getting so sick and tired of everybody being like, prima donna boy won't sign with the team. Prima donna boy. It's. I admit I started doing it.
He's coming around.
Prima donna boy.
He's a prima donna. Wanted ownership of the team. I said, absolutely not.
So I guess what was happening through it, and we kind of like talked about what the possibility could be. He just didn't want to get franchise tagged at the end of his contract. That's never been a thing. It's in writing. He didn't get it. He signed the contract. We're on our way. Like, it's not like that's what it was. It was going to be a last year thing, or it was going to be a franchise tag thing, and they figured it out and it's done. Like, it's that easy.
Him and Rome both got guaranteed money.
Right.
It's insane.
Yeah.
They
good
could
for
be
them.
Horseshit, and they still get paid $20 or $40 million.
Well, you can't really change the dollar amount on rookie deals. Like, it's already set in stone. Like, yeah. So they're there. They're still practicing. Everything's working like normal. It's not a big fucking deal. So the Bears do a YouTube channel thing that's similar to Hard Knocks, where you can watch like everybody going in and talking and all that stuff. And I'm kind of excited for Hard Knocks now. I think it's going to be cool. I was watching that and I was like, oh, this is fun. Like Tremaine Edmonds.
I just want that. I just love that guy's voice who narrates it. It's so bread and
what's
butter.
His name? I always forget his fucking name. It's like Sid
he's got
something or Ig
such
something
a voice. He's just like, and there's, I could just hear it now. Caleb Williams started at OU, and now he's on the Chicago Bears. I don't know. That's very like
Liev Schreiber. That's what I needed. Yeah.
It's like that guy who did like unsolved murders or whatever. It's like, so you say you saw him shot in the face laying on the ground? Yeah, I did. It was traumatizing. Oh, that had to be a bummer.
Back to my
I forget the guy's name.
Oh,
no.
Yeah, Liev Schreiber is the David Attenborough of sports, if you will.
Totally. Great comp.
It's going to be good. I hope it goes well. Temper your expectations.
He doesn't even realize he does it, which is the funniest shit ever.
I do.
It's gonna be good.
But
temper
the thing
your
is,
expectations.
Like, maybe this is how I talk. Maybe this is my normal speech pattern, and that's just a thing.
My expectations aren't necessarily high. They've been higher, but we'll see.
The problem is he speaks in lists. I speak in lists. Like, if I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, I'll go, there's this, and then there's this, and then there's this. And he goes, and this guy, and he does this, and it can't happen. It's the same thing. It's the same playbook. Fuck me. I'm going to be so self-conscious about this for so long.
It's so great.
Whatever,
I'm
dude.
Really August 6th, right? It's a
Yeah.
Big day.
Yep.
Okay.
And also by this time next week, 24th, we're going to be 2 days away from the Olympics by this time next week. So buckle up, kids. Last thing on football, Mike.
Speech shooting. What?
Harrison Butker back in the news.
What do you do now?
Serena Williams was the host of the ESPYs. Did you watch it?
No.
No one else did either. Hooray. Serena Williams, as the host, disses Harrison Butker at the ESPYs, saying, everybody should enjoy women's sports, except for you, Harrison Butker. We don't need you, which is funny. In my opinion, that's really fucking funny.
Harrison Butker, I'm like, turn the TV
Well, no,
off,
and he said, because also, like, Serena Williams has no interest in having any respect from Harrison Butker. There's no fucking reason why she would care, you know? And vice versa. That's what I'm saying, too. So, like, that, as far as disses go, like, no one asked for him to say that shit.
Ooh.
Say whatever you want. He says sports are supposed to be the great unifier, and at an event dedicated to celebrating a diverse group of men and women who have accomplished great feats, she used it as an opportunity to disinvite those to whom she disagrees with from supporting fellow athletes. To that, I question, Harrison, where did you do your speech? Was there a diverse group of men and women that were celebrating an accomplishment? And what did you bring up?
It was a Catholic college, Vince. Take it easy.
No, what did he bring up? It was like, congrats on doing all of this shit. Make sure that you're a homemaker for your husband. Like, talk about advice that wasn't asked for. Same shit your way, buddy, old pal. It's like the classic, like, she did something and I didn't like it, but I did the same thing. He did the same thing.
If I'm reading through the tea leaves, he's saying don't divide us, right?
Yeah.
Remember that whole thing, like, don't divide us, but
yeah, I would, but he literally did.
Yeah,
he did. He literally was like, "You do this, and men do this." That's what he did to that.
He went off on a whole Joel Osteen thing, and just one thing leads to another, and here we are.
But also, like,
now
yes,
getting called out by Serena Williams.
Reap what you sow, because also Serena Williams much better at.
I think he's going to sleep just fine.
I know,
if I was
but
him,
I'm saying
I wouldn't have made any
I don't think so, because
like,
why did he make a statement?
I just think
if he doesn't care, why do you make a statement?
He's Bible thumping Harrison Butker, and he wanted to bring. I mean, that's just kind of what he did. That's fine.
He roasted 60% of the population, and now he's mad because someone's like roasted.
I don't think he roasted 60% of the population.
A little bit.
I just think he gave his opinion.
Yes.
It's a poor opinion. It's an opinion piece, just like, you know. I think it's kind of, I don't know, but some people could say it's insensitive that, you know, Serena Williams decided to divide us. So it's just, it's a fucking nothing. Nobody's going to talk about this.
I agree. I don't think he should have made a statement. He should have just ate crow and moved on with his life. I don't think it's important.
I agree with that statement.
Needs to say a thing. Mike, another thing that I need to ask you if you watched, and this has to do with baseball. Did you watch any of the All-Star festivities? Outside of the national anthem, obviously.
No, Vince, I didn't, and I've been working all week like a dog.
I've
been out taking people out for dinner and seeing customers and enjoying California, getting out of the heat for a minute. You know, big week of shaking hands and kissing babies and meeting people I don't know, and it's not my territory in theory, but it's a count I manage, so I'm here for it nationally, and not a terrible time. I get to go sit off the water. Oh, I did check out a really cool place the other night, though. That actually has a baseball Hall of Fame room.
Right. I was confused by that when you were sending snaps.
I saw the check that was technically, and it's signed by Babe Ruth.
Republic?
It's faded now. Yes, and it's in this room. I mean, this room, some of the wine that they have in this room is
the check? Like what, his signing check or something? Paycheck?
Yeah, like his last check with the Yankees.
Oh,
they have framed in this room. They also have baseball signs by Pete Rose, Joe DiMaggio. It's amazing. And then every year they have an event in November through February that is truly fascinating. It's called the Hot Stove, November to February 2024. There's like Bob Costas and like speakers have included in the past, like Nolan Ryan, Pete Rose, Garrett Cole, Tommy Davis. This is at a place called the Cannery in Newport Beach, California.
Yeah.
And it is truly fascinating. Great food, great bar area, great sushi, great seafood. Highly recommend.
Views.
Great views.
Yeah.
Sit right on the water. I don't even want to know what a condo is there. Probably 20 mil. It's insane.
Has to be.
It's insane. It's a wonderful time, and definitely a place if you're a huge baseball fan and you're in California for whatever reason or near SoCal, you should definitely go.
Good to note, you didn't miss a fucking thing.
I'm sure I didn't, because anymore this game doesn't count.
Before when it did, it was kind of like it's stupid for it to count like that. I think they need to do it better. No, I don't. I think the All-Star game in the MLB is probably still the best All-Star game, in my opinion. Still to this day, because you can't really fake throwing 100 miles per hour. Like you kind of have to do it. I think All-Star games as a whole, like everybody kind of realized it's vanity. So it's not going to get better much, but Home Run Derby, snooze fest. They need to bring back the 10 pitches or whatever. The All-Star game was like, Skeens was cool for a little bit. It was cool that he started.
How did he do?
Good, man. I think he won the MVP or something like that. He threw like 4 pitches over 100. It was cool. I don't know, dude. It's just I have no. Is it a kids thing? Is it not for adults?
No, because when it meant something, I watch it religiously.
Yeah, as a kid.
It meant no, even as an adult. Even
They
in
changed
my
it like
teens,
10 years ago. You were like 20.
No, I was technically 23, Vince. So
No,
get your
old
facts
man.
straight because I'm
Yeah,
old. I'll be
man.
33 in a month. But
I was 19.
thanks.
Yeah.
I will say this. I watched it up until that point,
Yeah.
and it meant something. And it truly gave some sweat to the game and validity.
Unless you're a team that
Because
isn't
if
going to
you
make it to
want-
the World Series.
If you won the game, your league got home field advantage in the World Series. It was wonderful. And then they made it worth nothing, and now they don't even put the guys in different jerseys anymore, which I disagree with.
I
entirely.
loved that. I loved when they were
hate it.
when they did like individual team jerseys. I loved that.
Oh, it was
That
the
was
best because it
awesome.
gave. Let's say your team, to your point, let's say your team was horseshit,
Yeah.
and you had your guy represent your team in the All-Star game.
Yeah,
You'd be able to
crochet.
pick him out of a hat 2 seconds. Right.
Yeah.
But
That
he's
was
in
what we had
this
this
goofy
year.
pink. He's in this goofy pink nightmare of a uniform that I can't even pay attention to.
Yeah. I would like to say, as far as like evening out, what team's going to have home field advantage, the AL has won an astounding amount of times in the last 25 years. They've won, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 of the last 24 All-Star games the American League has won. So, like, essentially for 25 or however many years they were doing it, it was like, if you're going to the World Series, the American League's getting home field advantage, which I'm okay with. But I think that's probably going to turn some heads when people are trying to figure out how to deal with the rules.
I would want to know how many of those 24 years or whatever it was where an NL team won the World Series and an AL team won the World Series and how much it made statistically.
Yeah, it's a crapshoot. Well, we can do this thought process. It's going to be hard. Who won the? We're going AL,
okay,
AL.
That's for next week.
AL, Florida. AL again. 2006 was NL. 2007 was AL again. I mean, shit. The first 10 years was.
We'd have to look at the list.
Yeah, I mean, I think I can almost name them all front to back. Look at me go. It starts getting weird around the Cardinals and the.
But the
Giants
AL
and shit.
overall has always been the superior league, in my
Easy.
opinion. Sorry, Cardinal fans. Sorry,
More
Cub
handsome.
fans, but
Cooler. Go White Sox all
just
that.
saying. Go White Sox all day. Great
MLB
unis.
draft. Any notes, Mike?
The White Sox did the most White Sox shit ever and drafted a left-handed power throwing starting pitcher.
Keep it going.
They had opportunity. So that Travis, I forget his last name, Donnie Marbit called out in our interview with Donnie. Shout out to Donnie. Hope you're well.
Yep.
Called out one of the top prospects in the draft in his opinion. And he went first overall.
Yeah.
Which is
He
nuts.
knows. I mean, if anybody's going to know, it's our boy Donnie. Yeah, White Sox got another Chris Sale, Rodon, Crochet type. Just come in, lefty, gas. Fine with me. Rodon was one pitch away from a perfect game. Sale, obviously an all-star for years, again this year. Crochet an all-star right now. If we're good at one thing, it's developing left-handed power arms. So, fuck it. Bring us another one.
So, Travis Bassana was the first pick in the draft, second baseman.
Wasn't he a stock car driver?
No, that's Travis Pastrana.
Got it.
And he was actually a motocross rider.
Motocross. There you go. Yeah,
and he also had a wonderful show by the name of Nitro Circus, if you know Nitro Circus.
I watched that.
Love that show. And then the second pick in the draft was a guy by the name of Chase Burns out of Wake Forest, arguably the best right-handed starting pitcher in college baseball. Charlie Cogden, guy's a monster. Played third base for Georgia, gets drafted by the Rockies at the third pick. The 4th pick is Nick Kurtz, who was
Wait, say that again?
dual Nick Kurtz.
Oh, yeah. Good job on that consonant there, brother. Don't say that name too fast.
Nickkurtz.
I know, just don't say it too fast.
Just my Nick hurts.
Oh, no.
But
No.
that's the A's new guy, and he dueled first base and pitching. And
I haven't used it yet today.
and he looks to be an interesting prospect. Let's put
It's
it like
hard
that.
with baseball, though. It's like
It's very hard.
the guy that we drafted, he could come up next year. He could have a similar crochet thing, but like a lot of these guys are going to be a crapshoot. It's more likely now than it's ever been that they're going to work out, but like it's such a toss-up, man. It really is.
Well, what I don't understand is that there were some power hitting outfielders on the board, and we didn't even touch them.
We
And
don't
the
need
White
one
Sox
of those.
could
We need
use
a
it.
lefty pitcher.
What team are you watching?
I know. I'm kidding entirely. That's just what they always do. Why get an outfielder or a second baseman when you can draft another lefty pitcher? We only have 3 of those on the roster right now. Yeah, we'll see what happens, man. Baseball is
White
going to
Sox
come
are
back
gonna
and
White
get
Sox.
exciting. We'll be
All
able
right,
to
way
talk about
too-
baseball more once it gets more exciting again.
Way too early World Series predictions. 1, 2, 3, go.
Right now, Orioles versus Dodgers. Orioles win in 6.
Really?
Yeah.
Give me the Orioles because
Uh-huh.
I like that pick. Give me the Orioles and the Phillies.
Yeah, Phillies are really good.
Phillies are sick.
Braves should be better, but they're not. I got to see the Phillies not flame out. I would prefer them to win over the Dodgers. I would actually like to see Philly win more than anybody right now.
The Dodgers are horrible right now. They're on.
I know, but they're
streak
going to
of
be
loss.
they'll be in the playoffs for sure.
Yeah, and they'll lose in the 2nd or 3rd round.
Mookie Betts in the playoffs. So you never know what's going to happen. All right,
All right.
last thing for the day. We have international basketball going on right now. Team USA routes Serbia with the best player in the world on Serbia. Do not forget. Nikola Jokic not hanging out with horses. Nikola Jokic playing in.
He's not
pre-Olympic
hanging out
games.
with Pony. He goes play
Yeah.
basketball. Not very good.
Yeah, so he's on his shit. I mean, it is in Paris, so it's not that far from Serbia. He can get back if he needs to. Serbia without Bogdanovic, which is fine, but it seems like the U.S. team is coming into the fold. This is a 2-part question here, Mike. Is this team better than the Dream Team?
No.
What do you
No
mean?
team
Why?
is better than the Dream Team. No team is better.
Is that
than the
based off
Dream
of nostalgia, or because I had this
No.
thought process earlier?
Team. Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan,
Correct.
Larry Bird, Charles Barkley, Danny Ainge,
Uh-huh.
John Stockton, Karl Malone. I mean, like Hall of Famer.
I know,
Famer.
but there's more
Like,
MVPs. I think actually there's the same amount of MVPs on this team as there was over there. More All-Star appearances. I'm not saying they're better. I'm just saying
well,
that
in an era where they give away All-Star appearances like candy,
they did too back then, Mike. That wasn't any fucking
Nah,
different.
like,
They
no.
did.
The talent pool was so much better back then. I'm sorry.
No, it wasn't. Quite the opposite. It
You're
was top
wrong.
heavy. It was top heavy. The talent now is considerably better than it used to be. Before there was a couple really good guys and then a couple really bad guys on every team. Now it's
Okay.
more equal than it's ever been.
The USA is going to win.
They better
the
win gold.
I mean,
This is-
yeah, it's
Okay,
it's over.
even if it's not better than the Dream Team, it is better than the Redeem Team. So I mean, yeah, Kobe was on that team, but if you see the backup 5 that they have, because they're playing them right now like hockey lines. They're bringing in 5 in when they do it. It's like D-Book, Tatum. Like you have a full squad of just killer all-stars. And meanwhile, and you love this, I'm sure, the non-American American that is Joel Embiid, he's half the game he's on the ground. Half the game he's just waiting for a foul. And one thing you won't get from FIBA refs is sympathy or fouls. He's just laying there apathetic while Serbia's running down the fucking court.
Good. Let him play the game.
It's so easy to hate Joel Embiid. and I still
I don't
just
hate anybody.
I know, but I'm saying like from a sports fandom base, and it's so easy to be like, stop being such a loser.
Well, LeBron, I'm surprised he's not right there with him on the ground.
No, because LeBron understands that the FIBA doesn't let you do it. That's the thing.
Oh,
LeBron's
shout
played
out to
it.
LeBron for
Yeah.
not placating that.
He
I mean,
plays
that's
to
cool.
how the referees play him. I think it's like honestly what he does. Embiid isn't used to it yet. He's like, why aren't you calling the foul? He hurt me. It's like, motherfucker, you're 7'1", 300. Like, what are we talking about right now? Did he hurt you?
You're modern day Shaq. Stop flopping.
Yeah. Dude, I'm starting to. Joel Embiid's becoming Deion Sanders in my head. I'm starting to turn on him.
Did you see the
What I
jersey
see.
swaps that they're going to do this year in Philly?
Uh-uh.
They're bringing back the early 2000s, late 90s Sixers.
The black
bracket
one with the
golds.
gold 76ers on the front? Yes, dude. Those are so fresh.
So sick.
AI, baby. Joel Embiid's going to look like Samuel Dalembert in that shit. We'll see how that ends up working.
Who the fuck is that?
You don't remember I think it's Samuel Dalembert? Yeah. He played center right around the same time as Mutombo did for that team.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
I love that
that's
early
a
2000s
pure-
76ers.
I knew AI really
Yeah.
well. And I mean, AI was most comfortable shoes on the planet, by the way.
Hey, game on the line, 3-pointer. Who you taking? I'm taking Iguodala. You remember that, Max Kellerman? Also early 2000 76ers. Yeah.
Yeah, Iguodala on the 76ers was dog.
That was when he could
That-
yam, dude.
If you think about the 76ers fall from grace, it really started with this change over to the Blues.
Yeah, and then the process, and I mean, granted, they've been better the last 5 years than they have been since like the 80s, probably. Because that AI run, unfortunately, is a lot less time than we like to even remember. It was like 3-4 years, and then it all kind of went down to the shitter.
Allen Iverson may be one of the greatest athletes to ever live. Truly.
If not that, the most influential for sure.
Well, I mean, he could have played football. He played basketball. He could have played professional football.
That's the thing. He plays professional football. He doesn't even look small on the field. He plays basketball. He looks like a pipsqueak.
That's what's insane about the game.
Yeah, man.
Truly. Well, with all that, Vince, it was a fun road game as always.
This was fun. I can't wait for sports to come back.
It wasn't as chaotic as last week because last week was special.
That was crazy.
I
That
hope
was too
everybody
much.
enjoyed it. We never too much. But I'm gonna enjoy Cali. I'm leaving here
Please do.
Friday, so wish me luck tomorrow. I'm going to spread the good word about what I do to pay the bills, and it'll be
Mormon,
wonderful.
baby.
And people, we want to pay the bills with this whole little venture we got going here. And in order to do that, we need you to share it to the people you enjoy your company with most, who you might believe would enjoy us as well, right? So with that, share it to a friend. Share it to a family member. Share it to your brother. Share it to your sister. Share it to your brother from another mother, a sister from another mister. You know the drill. And then, of course, download.
Are you getting roasted by wifey right now?
Totally. Download, hit the bell. And as always, we'll see you next week.
Peace.
Talking Tales with Mike and Vince. Oh, you know. Jazzy beats while we dispense. Yeah, you know.